we're here at Prelude Ventures. And this
Hey,
is
how are you
Gabriel
doing?
Kra.
That's right.
Am I pronouncing that right?
Absolutely. Good job.
Thank you. And Gabriel, what does Prelude Ventures invest in? What's your raison d'etre?
We are here to invest in great entrepreneurs and great companies who, when they're successful, are going to have a positive impact on climate. So if your company can reduce CO2 or CO2 equivalents in the atmosphere, come talk to us. Once we make that determination, we're a straight up venture investor. We want to make money just like every other venture firm out there. This is just our vertical.
Yeah.
Some people do SaaS, some people do internet companies, some people do mobility companies. We do companies that can impact climate.
Yeah, excellent.
Very excited to be doing that.
Tell me about your firm. It's a lovely office that you have here. It's very spacious. How many people do you have that work?
We've got four folks. We got 4 folks on the investment side, and then some support staff. And we've been up and going this brand 3 or 4 years since 2013. But we were investing for about 4 or 5 years before that. We are one thing that's a little bit different about us is we're an evergreen fund. So we don't have multiple funds and strict fund horizons, and the reason we structured it that way was to give us the time to do big, hairy equipment, capital-intensive stuff that take a long time, but we also love to do, neat, short, maybe shorter time horizon, more typical software type companies. And we most typically invest in an early stage in an A or B round of the company. Sometimes we'll do a seed stage investment when it's a great opportunity or a great entrepreneur who isn't quite have everything fleshed out. And once in a while we'll do a later stage deal too, meaning we'll find a company that's past that A or B round and do the our first investment in them at a later stage with a larger check size. Yeah. But by and large, it's the A and B is where we get to the companies.
Okay, great. Yeah. And actually, can we walk a little?
Sure.
So what does an A round look to you? What kind of traction does a company need to have for you to be saying, hey, this is something we're interested in?
It's a good question, but the answer, of course, like all good questions, the answer is it depends, right? I mean, we just did a software company called Clear Metal, which is software logistics for the shipping and container industry, really adding efficiency to that supply chain. And they had revenue, but really early stage revenue, but they had great traction with their customers, and they were working with their customers and their partners. And they came to us kind of really early wanting to do a bridge round, kind of, like extend their seed. And I love the CEO. I knew some of the other folks who were already investors in them. I knew that they'd worked with them well, and I said, look, let's not do that. Let's do an A round. Let's do a full round, and come back and figure out a real plan right now to fully fund this company for the A round, so that when we're going to the B round, it's with customers, with revenue, and it's a real scaling type round.
And so A round size, you do the lead, or you be the sole investor, or
we'll lead, we'll follow. We generally won't do a deal where we're not active with the company. If we don't think we're adding value, we're not going to just write a check and go away. But we'll be flexible on it. So this one we co-led it actually with a firm that we've worked with a lot in the past that has some complementary expertise. We wrote ballpark for that one about a $5 million check, but the round was almost twice that. And we cut back because there was a bunch of partners who the CEO and we wanted to be in the deal.
Strategics.
So some strategics, some more financials who are really good in the space. So we really will syndicate. We love partnerships. We think more heads around the table, as long as they're good, constructive folks, is better than fewer. So we'll compromise a little bit on our target, on ownership thresholds and things like that, to make sure that the right folks are sitting around the table.
Will you be looking to join the board of these companies that you're investing in?
We're either going to be a board member or a board observer, and that's going to depend on who else is on the board and what's the size of our check and what's our ownership. We're going to do what makes sense. We're going to do what makes sense for the company, but if we're not going to be active, we're probably not going to be doing
in the company.
That's right.
And what's the pace of your investing? What kind of pace a year would you?
We don't have targets. We're fortunate in that we don't have to think quite that way. As it comes out, we do about $50 million in equity investments a year, and that is both new investments and follow-on investments. We are really committed to our companies. If they're doing well, but in a capital constrained environment, we're going to make sure that they don't feel too starved for capital. But it's been a great year, and things have been really active, and there's so much activity in the sector. sector. So many wonderful companies and wonderful opportunities that are coming.
If you were looking at like maybe a $5 million check size, that'd be a big check. You come in for smaller check sizes too, don't you, in earlier stage companies?
Yeah, that's right. You know, we've done 200K, 100K as a seed stage to help out, you know, in that early stage.
Yeah.
We've done a couple of things where we were a participant in the A, or it was a smaller A, where it was a couple of million, 2 or 3 million.
Yeah.
And then we've done some larger deals too.
So that would put you on pace for maybe 10 new companies a year? Is that too ambitious?
Yeah, no, it's not 10, because that number includes our follow-ons. I'd say we've done between 4 and 7, 4 and 8 each year.
So maybe between 1 to 2 new investments per partner.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So what do you think in terms of the climate issues? Like, what are the drivers that make a company a good prospective investment for Prelude to look at?
Yeah.
What are you must have 2 or 3 or 4 sectors that you look at closely.
No, well, look, we try to be really good and opportunistic. Like when I want people to come to us. I want them to say, hey, here's why we fit your mandate, and here's why we're a great business, right? Because at the end of the day, we're investing in great entrepreneurs and great businesses. We're not investing in that climate thesis. That's where we invest.
Yeah.
That said, where have we found a lot of great opportunities over the past few years? The ag tech space. You know, if you think about what it takes to put food on our table, some 30% of total global emissions can be linked to food production in one way or another, right? So we've done a couple or 3 really hard ag tech deals, like science, some synthetic biology, some data analytics, some just more traditional breeding, to sort of improve agricultural efficiency. Right. We've done a food tech company, like using vegetable proteins to replace meat proteins. In this case, the company that we did was Ripple. It's pea milk, pea proteins to make delicious, creamy, wonderful milk. And you're not compromising when you buy that. And now that company's going really like gangbusters. And why did we invest in that? You know, the impacts of dairy and beef is profound, but it had 2 world-beating entrepreneurs, and we were just so excited to be able to work with people like that. So food and ag and that whole supply chain is somewhere we've looked a lot.
And reducing consumption or recycling.
This shirt is exactly against that theme. Thank you for asking. We invested in this company, Yertle, and originally the company wanted to help people share the vast unused portion of their closets. So it's a share economy company. But what we've evolved to is Yertle now is kind of the back end to allow major tier 1 brands to enable people to return items that are in great shape, and then those companies can resell them. So this shirt I bought this last week on the Patagonia worn wear site.
It's very nice shirt.
Well, thank you. I went to Patagonia.com. They have this little tab called Worn Wear, and I had a great e-commerce experience, and Yertle is the back end for that service for Patagonia. The other brand that we've announced is Eileen Fisher, and it's called Fisher Found, and it's right on the Eileen Fisher site. These are major tier 1 brands who want to promote sustainability, want to promote reuse, and don't have those internal reverse logistics capabilities, and so we provide that to them. And we're going to be launching with another couple in the next year. It's 3 months, 6 months.
Energy efficiency, any other sectors?
Sure. No, we've done a bunch
battery
of energy
technologies
efficiency. We have 2 active battery companies in our portfolio. We have a bunch in energy efficiency and in industrial efficiency. An interesting one there is a company called MindSense, where it provides for energy efficiency for mining companies. Something like 10% of all the energy in British Columbia is used to crush rocks. Mines are really good at knowing where to locate. Once they've got a shovelful, and you're talking about a shovelful the size of a house, right? Once you've got a shovelful of rock, something like 20 or 30% of the rock they crush should have just been thrown away, and a similar amount of the rock that they threw away should have been crushed and processed. We help them tell them that. Huge value proposition, and the reason they want it, though, it saves them money. The biggest cash cost, other than people, in a mine is energy. That's energy efficiency, and we've got some other stuff. People who work with utilities, a company called Energy Savvy. We try to be really broad.
So if a company was to try to contact you, how would they be best to contact you? Through the Prelude?
You can come to our website. You can email me at gkra@preludeventures.com. I'm always Happy to do that. Although, I'll tell you the truth, it's best if you can get an introduction.
Introduction.
We get a lot of folks coming through. Our biggest filter is the people we're investing in. It's a long-term investment. You know, we're an active investor. We want to be hands-on. We want to be active. And if we don't have to be best friends, but if we're not going to have a good, robust business relationship that's going to go through ups and downs and bumps and valleys and peaks and highs and lows, well, if we're not going to be able to work together, then probably you shouldn't take our money and we shouldn't invest in you.
Right. Any sort of words of wisdom for how to get you guys interested in the company? I mean, obviously, the climate focus.
Be smart, be thoughtful, go after a big problem, be willing to take chances, be passionate. You know, present me with a big opportunity.
Awesome.
That's what we're looking for.
Well, that's that, isn't it? We just found out about Prelude Ventures. Guess what? If you subscribe here, you will learn more about VC. Subscribe here and ask questions below. Thanks.